What caused the GDF helicopter crash in December 2023 in the dense jungle of Essequibo? And why is the Guyana Defense Force and the Guyana Civil Aviation Authority taking so long to release a final report on the accident? That's what family members of the fallen soldiers and the public want to know. We have an update, so stay tuned. You're watching The Final Takeaway, where we bring you an exclusive look at news in and about Guyana and neighboring regions. We don't just report the news, we ask provocative questions, seek answers, and provide opinions. Subscribe and share this channel across your social media platforms for free. Thank you. Contact us if you have a story to make public or want to sit with me for an interview. Now guys, do you think the GDF and other agencies investigating the crash are taking way too long to let the public know what happened? Let me know what you think in the comment section below. It's been a year plus 2 months, and we're still not clear on the cause of the fatal accident. Well, that's what a black box is for, right? It paints a vivid picture of the moments leading up to the crash in real time. As we understand it, the black box taken from the helicopter wreckage is in the hands of the U.S. National Transportation and Safety Board, the NTSB. This agency is expected to check the flight recordings and report back to Guyana. No official report about the investigation has been released up to press time. According to Stabrook News, a report on the crash, quote, is expected to be addressed in a month. Addressed? Now what does that mean? Is the agency responsible for the investigation planning on making the findings public, or are they going to discuss the process without releasing the result of the investigation? We understand a, quote, draft final report is completed and waiting to be finalized. How much longer do we have to wait to get the, quote, draft back and then the final official report on what happened on that fatal morning? Before we move on, let's recap. For those who don't remember or who are new to this channel, let's recap what reportedly happened the day of the crash. A GDF helicopter piloted by Lieutenant Colonel Michael Charles crashed on the 6th of December 2023. Charles was a trained and experienced veteran pilot and lost his life along with 4 other GDF officers. 2 survived the tragic accident. The officers are Lieutenant Andio Michael Crawford, also a pilot, and Corporal Dwayne Johnson. At the time of the crash, the chopper was reportedly headed to one of GDF's base camps located near the Guyana-Venezuela border. According to reports, the helicopter took off from Camp Ayangana at 8 o'clock that morning and then stopped for fuel in Essequibo. The crew reportedly lost contact with air traffic controllers at around 11:20 a.m., just around midday. Details about what caused the deadly flight remain sketchy. This is despite the head of the Army, Brigadier General Omar Khan, providing details at a press conference shortly after the accident. Not much information has been provided to the public since then. The 2 survivors have also been tight-lipped about what went down. Of course, this raised public suspicions and speculations about the accident. Naturally so. This had people asking if the 2 surviving soldiers were placed under a gag order and not allowed to speak about the accident to the press or anyone. Word on the street is that someone else may have been flying the chopper. Who knows? The report of the investigation is needed to provide clarity on what exactly transpired and to dispel rumors and inaccurate information that's going around. Initially, there were concerns that the disaster might have had something to do with the infamous Guyana-Venezuela border dispute. However, the Army quickly dispelled those rumors. Based on our investigations and research, there is no evidence linking Venezuela to the accident. Or if there is, it has not been made public. Fast forward to February 2025. Present day. It's now over a year, and the Guyanese public, stakeholders, and the family members of those who were injured and lost their lives are still waiting for an official accident report. Towards the end of last year, Minister of Public Works Bishop Edghill provided an update on the investigation. He said they were waiting for several agencies to look at the draft report and offer feedback before they could go ahead and finalize the report. Those agencies include the Guyana Defense Force, Transport Canada, Bell Helicopters, the U.S. National Transportation Safety Board, and the Guyana Civil Aviation Authority. The deadline for the feedback process ended on January 10, 2025. According to Edghill, the report will be published after that. But that was about a month ago. About a month ago, the deadline for the feedback process ended, and no report has been published. Here's the deal. Why is there only a draft report 14 months later after this accident? Isn't it time for a final report? The long delay raises questions, and they're not good ones. The public is asking why, and they want to know. Not to mention the family members. The American Airlines and Black Hawk helicopter crash is not even 2 weeks old. And have you seen the progress of that investigation? And that was both a catastrophic and cataclysmic event that took 67 lives. Minister Edghill pointed out that the draft report for the GDF helicopter crash was completed in, quote, record time when compared to other jurisdictions. Perhaps it's unfair to compare Guyana and the U.S. in this case. These are two vastly different countries, and they have vastly different levels of resources within their reach. However, it's been more than a year since the GDF chopper went down. People are curious about what is causing the extensive delay in producing a final report. Is this acceptable? And by the way, the U.S. National Transportation Safety Board is quite busy right now investigating the mid-air crash that happened on January 29th. Will this push back the GDF helicopter crash report? Possibly. Here's the final takeaway. 5 of GDF's finest servicemen tragically lost their lives that day. The 5 are Brigadier Retired Gary Beaton, Colonel Michael Shahood, Lieutenant Colonel Sean Welcome, Staff Sergeant Jason Kahn, and the pilot, Lieutenant Colonel Michael Charles. Their families, friends, and loved ones deserve to know why the helicopter crashed and how their loved ones died. And they shouldn't have to wait an entire year to find out. Let's fast track the final report so the families can have the clarity and closure they've been waiting for. Thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe, and share your views in the comment section below. Let's meet again soon.